All right. And we are live. Okay. We'll just wait for some people to get in here. Let's see. To be fair, I probably am doing this live stream a little earlier than usual, but we're gonna see and wait if people join. All right, here. All right, looks like we got one person here. I'm gonna mute for a second. All right, there we go. So, no one here yet. We'll wait. To be honest, I didn't really expect people to join literally the first minute. Let's see. All right, looks like we got someone in the chat. Let's see. Hello, hi. Okay. So we got a few people. Obviously, not too much yet, but hey. So yeah. Here, let me just get a drink really quick to clear the throat. Also, if anyone's wondering what in the world I just took a sip of, it was apple juice. As honestly, I think it's the best type of juice, really. And if you disagree with me on that, then we're gonna have issues. LOL. But no. So yeah. I guess while there are a few people in the chat, I guess I'll go ahead and start actually talking now. So if everyone remembers, if you guys remember when I did a stream at the beginning of this year, it was like the first day of 2022. I did a stream. Now, originally, this stream was going to be done either I was going to do it either Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday of next week because I don't go back to school till Thursday. So with me having a few more days, I was thinking, ooh, how about Wednesday I do a live stream? But I kind of realized it'd be poetic if I did it today because literally the first day of this year I did a live stream. But not to mention, the other reason I'm doing this live stream is because I realized it has been a while since I've done one of these. It was like September of this year, the last time I did a live stream, and that was when I bought that entire Tomy lot that I showed off. If you guys remember that or not, but yeah, so yeah, that's kind of why the reason I'm doing this live stream. I kind of wanted to update my profile pic for live streams because that's the other thing. I think I need to update my entire thing in general. Well, no, yeah, a little bit, maybe. So obviously, like the logo that someone on Twitter made for me over a year ago, but I've updated my Oliver and Toad by a good bit. In fact, well, no, I don't want to show anything. So yeah. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be showing my face really in this stream for the sole fact that I guess I just want to keep it. I just want it to be a low key stream. I don't really want there to be anything too. It's just this is just the end of this, like the title implies, it's the end of the year live stream. So which is why now you have to remember I'm an American, so I don't know where everyone's time zones are, but whenever the clock for you strikes 12, make sure to wish a happy new year. So I know I will. But nonetheless, don't want my throat to. That's the thing. When I talk for too long, my throat starts getting like and scratchy, and then I'm like having to and clear it out like that, So, ugh, it gets annoying And not to mention, I technically have, a drink right here, so I should be able to clear my throat, but, you know. There we go. So, yeah. I don't know what's going to be happening with this stream. I mean, like I said, I think it was about time I did another one of these, as it has been quite a while. But whether I do plan to do another stream sometime. I honestly want to do a stream where I go back and take a look at all my reviews that I've made so far. But for now, we're gonna put that on the back burner for sometime next year. Maybe I'll do it around the beginning of the year. Who knows? But yeah. Let me think. What can we do to kind of kick it off? Well, to be fair, maybe I should tweet that I'm doing a live stream. And as I don't normally do that, but yeah. Here, let me mute for a second. All right, just got done tweeting that. So yeah. I guess I could technically talk about what the heck's going to be happening for 2023, but at the same time, I'm also going to be giving an. Okay, once I'm done with school, I'm going to be doing my yearly update video. But the kind of the thing with that is that well, this when 2020. The thing is, once tomorrow hits 2023, that's the year I'm going to be graduating. So it's hard to believe that you know. It's so weird. I do remember my early days when I was in kindergarten for a little bit. By the way, I never was in preschool, so I technically could have done preschool, but let's be fair, I think kindergarten is the best place to start. But anyways, it's so weird how I was in kindergarten, and I sort of I have a bit of memory of that. And then of course, I'm not going to go in detail, but after my after like 3 years of the first elementary I was going to, me and a bunch of people from my neighborhood were transferred to another elementary where finished third, fourth, and fifth grade. And then, of course, I was moved to now in my town. The middle school and high school are connected, but they're technically two separate schools. So then I went to the middle school for obviously, um, sixth, seventh, and eighth. And then, of course, gosh, the past 4 years, obviously, I've been in high school. Now, as for me moving forward, I did kind of consider going to college, but I guess that plan kind of got thrown out the window. I did talk about that in my um back to school update video. I'm pretty sure yeah, I was kind of depressed on that one. Yeah, but other than that, really, so to be fair, I've learned that I don't have to have a plan right away. I'm gonna try to start thinking of a plan. One thing's for sure is that I'm still gonna be living in the house that I am for a few more years. My goal is by the time I'm in my 20s, that's when I plan to move out. But for now, you know, I'm only 18. I still technically in a way got 2 years ahead. And even then, um, by the time let's see, 20. I besides, if I was to like try to move out, it wouldn't be until like somewhere in 2025. I believe, because yeah, let's see. I turned 18 in 2022. I'll be turning 19 2024. Then yeah, well, okay, 2025 into okay, maybe I was wrong. 2025 I'll turn 20, but then I think it's no, 2020. Oh gosh, now I'm getting myself mixed up. But oh well, that's just me. Besides, I don't even know why I'm trying to do math on a live stream right now. But the point is when I'm in my 20s and something like that, that's when I plan to move out. But yeah, and to be fair, I kind of would feel like it'd be for the best because I just don't have enough space to do what I want to do. There's so many things I want to make that I'm currently not making right now. I have plans for the future of my channel, obviously, and I got big goals and aspirations for this. As I was I was very inspired by the people in the Wooden Railway community, so obviously I really, really want to fulfill on that sometime down the road. I mean, oh, excuse me. Heck, my 5-year anniversary was a few days ago. Like, it was on Wednesday. So I have been doing this for 5 years now. And it's crazy to think about. Once 5 more years go by, I will be at my 10-year anniversary on YouTube. That's insane. And it's like, where did all this time go? So, yeah. Ah, crap. My voice is getting. My voice isn't sore. It's just when I talk so much and I'm the only one talking, it's kind of bad. And what's worse is that I'm down to my last sip of apple juice. So, mm, mm, mm. There we go. Okay. I guess I'll read the chat. See what's up there. Let's see. I already read the first three. Nah, lemonade's the best, lol. I mean, to be fair, I do like lemonade too, but it's just been a while since I've had it. Kool-Aid jammers are the best goated. Okay, well, I don't know if it's the same thing as actual Kool-Aid. That's the other thing. I like Kool-Aid too, but like lemonade, I haven't had that in a while. So, it's funny. You remember, it's like you used to like things, and then you realize that you don't like them now. Like, I don't know. I guess it's been like that with me for like some stuff. I can't name specifically unless if I really thought about it intently, but hmm, um, they are good. Yeah. Hey, I was just using a new Bachman's Thomas. Cool. To be fair, I wouldn't mind starting to collect Bachman. Actually, sadly, the only Bachman thing I own is a human figure that I bought when I went to the entertainment meetup in 2021. So there's that. But I'm not gonna lie, I would love to get my hands on the narrow gauge engines, Skarloey, Rheneas, Rusty, and of course Peter Sam was their newest release. But of course, once their handle is released, that will be the newest official release for Bachman. But now that they finally have made almost the classic 5 narrow gauge engines, it kind of makes me wonder if they're gonna make Duncan anytime soon. And I kind of hope they do make Duncan. But on the other hand, if they do make him, I really hope they don't. I don't mind if they base him off CGI with the face and the body, but it's that red running board I kind of can't stand when it comes to Duncan. I mean, the yellow was so much better. And that's just my opinion, obviously. But then again, Duncan's model doesn't really look too bad. I know it does not represent Douglas in any way. It represents the classic model, honestly, which kind of makes me wonder why Britt didn't base that completely off, Douglas. But then again, maybe, yeah. But oh well, that's just me, honestly. Um, yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't mind collecting Bachman. I honestly would love to get my hands on a Bachman Oliver, because obvious reasons. But of course, if I get my hands on Oliver, then I'm going to have to get my hands on Toad too. And then, of course, I would also love to get my hands on, obviously, Thomas. But, that's just me. Personally, the things I would mostly want to collect from Bachman are, one, their buildings, because their buildings look very good. But also the figures. I mean, like I said, there's a reason why I bought one of the human figures, because if I was to use Capsule Playroll figures and then the Bachman figures, then it's like close-up shots, like that, like classic series style stuff. But so there's that. But yeah, I wouldn't mind collecting Bachman. I mean, obviously my main goal is to mostly collect Wooden Railway and any other off brands that I like. I have been buying some things that aren't really Wooden Railway related. The first thing, obviously, while I love official Wooden Railway, I also dabble in Brio a little bit. Like, I have those Brio hoppers that you guys have seen on my channel. Of course, I'm a big fan of the lumber loading wagons, although mine here, in fact, I'm holding one of them right now. They look great. I painted them gray. First they were a lighter gray, then they're darker gray, but the wheels keep chipping. And I'm kind of thinking I want to replace the bogies with actual bogies and then paint the middle chrome disc black. Like, that's what I want to do with these. Or even then, buy the ones that are actually gray, like from that trailer thing, So that's just that, I love these things. Of course, they've gone through a lot with me. And of course, the thing with my rolling stock, I want to get more rolling stock. I kind of have a little bit. Oh shoot. I'm holding some rolling stock in my hands, but you won't see them until a later time in a later day. There are some pieces of rolling stock I finished painting up last night, which that reminds me. I think during the stream I'm going to touch up one of them, as I kind of made a little mistake with one. But yeah. That reminds me, speaking of customs and all, I do plan to release more custom videos this year. I guess the reason why I haven't released as much as I did back then. Well, number one, it does take a lot of energy to record the audio and then edit the actual video together. Back then, it was a little bit different, where I could just edit it and bam. But not to also mention, I also have to make sure I actually do them and not procrastinate the week, because I've made so many customs I want to show off. And here's the thing, I show them off in chronological order when I made them. So the customs I'm going to start making early 2023 are ones that probably won't be seen until late 2024, early 2025. The only way I can catch up on all the customs I've made is if I actually stop making customs, which is something I can't do for the life of me, because I actually have, let's see, I have one custom in my hand, another custom in my hand. Here's another one, and another one. So here are 4 customs. So I'm not turning on my camera for, as I said earlier, but I have 4 customs here. One that's half finished, or 2 that are halfway finished, but then the other 2 I barely have touched for a bit. One of them is an idea I have, but I'm not sure if I want to go through. And the other one is a character that I'm trying to do, but, it's just taking a bit. So yeah, I don't know why, but I feel like I have a problem with starting customs and then just not finishing them. Obviously, I do finish them, but it depends on how long it actually takes me. So for now, these customs are ones that I'm probably not going to pick up until next year. And by next year, I mean sometime tomorrow. Well, not really tomorrow, but tomorrow as in tomorrow as in like the new year, And of course, obviously the customs I have in my hands, they're actually 3D printed items I bought off of Nick TF89. You'll probably see those. And to be fair, I'm kind of thinking I'm kind of wondering if I should make custom videos of the 3D printed items, because Well, obviously Nick has already done that, but then again, at the same time, it's just that, you know. But anyway, stupid voice. Anyway, well, here I'm just gonna put the customs back up on the desk that I've had here since the summer of this year. I kind of want to get rid of it, but at the same time, it's the desk that my camera now officially sits on to do my reviews, because my set table got moved over to the other, not to the other side of the room, but over by a little bit earlier this year. So yeah, there's that. But anyway. All right. Now let's go back to the comments. Toad has a pretty good model. Hello, I'm your new subscriber. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. Yeah. Um, let's see. I'm so sorry for all the type stuff. It's just like I said, I feel like when I talk for so long, your voice kind of gets stressed out, because you're always trying to stay engaged with everyone while trying to also, pace yourself. It's that type of deal. So yeah, I guess I'll do what I normally do with these uh types of live streams. If you have any questions for me, please, post them down in the chat. But of course, make sure they're good questions. So yeah. Anyway, I think I've sort of kind of gone off topic a little bit. Let me kind of revert a little bit and go back to the future of. So, yeah. I obviously plan to keep on going how I am for now. Of course, I do realize once I graduate school, things are going to feel a little different. But of course, at the same time, with me trying to get a job, um, you could say things are gonna somewhat, stay the same in a way. It's just that's the other thing. I realize at least I won't have to put a job for. Well, I will have to put a job first, but it's not like I'll have to do any homework just for a job. Well, it depends on what it is, really. But that's the thing. Obviously, I go to work. Like, I'll go to work and to make money, obviously. But of course, at the same time, though, I'll also be, coming home, and then maybe, if now depends on how my day goes. If I feel in the mood to start working on a video, then of course I'll do it. But of course, real life priorities have to, in a way, come first, which is why, um, I'm going to which is why I'm going to try my best to still keep making content. If anything, I'm not going to be going anywhere for a long time, because I realize now there are some people who have reached their 15th anniversary on YouTube, or 10 years. Like, I think Thomas Number 203 has reached 10 years. I know that people like Percy Number 6 and Thomas One Railway, they've been around for a while. And of course, they're still around. Well, Kikray, more or less, as he hasn't made a video in he made a video 4 months ago, I like to think. But that was a while back. So, yeah. What I'm trying to get at here is that I'll still be around for a pretty good while. I don't plan to go anywhere. Of course, at the same time, real life stuff, it has to come first. As much as I love doing this YouTube stuff, the only way that that my YouTube stuff can come first is if I make this my actual job, which, to be fair, I really want to do. But I also realize I need to get actual experience working before I dare try this, and not to mention, I'm nowhere near I don't think I'm able to really do this yet. I'll have to do some more research into it. And who knows, maybe by the time I actually have been around for 10 years, this could be my actual job. But for now, this is just something that I'm going to be doing for fun, obviously. And if I do make money off of this in the future, then that's also a good thing. I mean, something I'll be looking forward to. So, oh shoot. Whoops. Suddenly something snapped and fell. Well, then again, it wasn't anything that was, yeah. Let's see. Let me check. Swar Hunter, hello there. If you got any questions for me, anyone, feel free to post them in the chat. But for now, what do you plan on making for 2023? Oh shoot. I sort of kind of just went through this. I do want to make more custom videos, because I have a lot of customs I've made, and I like showing them off in chronological order of when I made them. So believe it or not, the last custom showcases I did were customs that were made back in November of 20 November. Yeah, it was like around November of 2021, which means sadly I got a lot of customs to show off. Well, not sadly, it's just I want to show off all the customs I've made, but it's just at the same time though, they, you know, it's just I keep making way too many customs to the point where I can't even keep up with them anymore. Um, I really, really do want to make more custom showcases because I realize that I haven't made as many this year. But you know, um, but yeah, I do got a lot of custom stuff I want to show off. That's the thing with 2023. I expect a custom showcase to come out during January, hopefully. And you know, I also have been contemplating if I actually want to do them in rows or, just single videos. But I also kind of realized something. If I do them in rows still, I'll be able to keep up with them more and more. But yeah, for now, for now, we're just going to, for now, I'm just going to keep on with that in a way. So yeah. Anyway, I sort of basically trailed off of that. But maybe this is a hot take, but I'm honestly not a big fan of collecting merch. I'm much a bigger fan of high quality trains models. I get it. I mean, but that's the thing. That's the thing I wonder about trains users. If they're just making videos through a computer simulation, then what kind of merchandise do they like? Because trains is not a merchandise. It's just making models and just that type of stuff. But I get it. I get it. And to be fair, when you do collect a lot of the merchandise, it does cost you a good pretty penny, to be fair. But that's the other thing about me having a job. When I do get a job, I am going to spend my money on Wooden Railway stuff or any other, things I need for customs and stuff, or characters I still don't have and I really want to get. But point is that even though I'll spend a little bit of money on Wooden Railway, I'm not gonna blow all of it on it. But the point is that you know, I just need a job to get myself off the ground, and of course to if I really want to buy some more Wooden Railway in the future. So, are you going to be making a series? I do want to make a series. I've sort of started planning one. But the thing is, that series is sadly not going to be able to come out for a while because I can't do it in the circumstance that I'm in. I don't have enough buildings. I don't have enough, shrubbery. or trees or even Badless. I don't have enough. I'd love to switch to Woodland Scenics Ballast. As don't get me wrong, I love the style of rocks. Like if you can see my profile picture, actually, the type of rocks I use for ballast are rocks that I actually get from outside, and but it's just can't really I can't really make a series right now in the predicament I'm in really. So I do want to make a series. I already have the title of it. I know what I have a lot, and I've written a few scripts already for stories in the future. But for now, I'm not gonna say any more because because when the day comes for me to finally announce the series, I want everyone to be on the edge of their seats, ready and waiting. Because after seeing a lot of fan series like Enterprising Engines or Thomas the Train's Adventures or Sodor New Era, you know, after watching series like them, I kind of have a grasp on what I want my series to be, in a way. As every series out there has its identity, and for me, I would like I have what identity I want for my series, but that's just me, and that's just something I have planned for the future. So yeah. Anyway. All right. Okay. So I'll be right back, everyone. I'm gonna get me a little bit more something to drink so that my throat won't be dying throughout this whole thing. So give me a moment. There was a long silence. But seriously though, sorry for being gone for a while. Just obviously I'm back now. Um, I guess I wasn't totally sure if I wanted to. I'll probably invite some people in the live stream, but depends on who the heck is around at this time. Well, the thing is, it's almost in about, I guess, in about 23 minutes for me. It's about to be 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm sure there's still people. I'm sure there's people around, but um, that's yet the other thing. So yeah. Let's see. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just looking on Twitter right now. That's the problem with me doing a live stream and also me streaming and also trying to stay engaged, because I am engaged with what's happening here, but I'm just checking my DMs really quick. Let's see. Let me go to my Twitter really quick. All right. Let me go back. So I guess it's mostly because there's not really much to talk about, honestly. I mean, to be fair, on one hand, I wanted this stream to be a little bit more over an hour. At the same time, though, there's really no point of being live still if hardly one, anyone's watching, and two, if I really don't have anyone else to talk to in the live stream. So we'll go to the hour mark, but but I also realized that plan could change very quickly. But for now, we're just gonna go with my first plan to go to the hour still. So, um, oh, if I ever made a series, it'd probably be. Interesting. I obviously know what I'm wanting to do with my series. My series is a mix of railway series, TV series, but also CGI. So that's just something I'm gonna. I guess that's something I don't mind pointing out right at the moment. Anyway. I don't know. I guess you could say I'm technically bored, but then again, I guess the reason of me doing this live stream was to become unbored. And even then, I guess this live stream is really not for me to have people on. Not like not have people on. I mean, I wouldn't mind, but it's just like, um, let me check something really quick. All right. Well, let's see. To be fair, I do kind of realize how I might have done this stream a little bit too early on my end. I could have probably waited until later tonight, but I kind of just wanted to do it now because my parents are gone. So I guess you could say that's sort of the reason why I decided to do this early. But at the same time, though, I understand that, with today being the last day of this year, people are obviously going to be making plans and preparations to do something of some sorts. I will say, the year for me personally, well, I honestly don't know. It's a mixture. This year was a mixture between good and bad. It was good in some areas, but there were many areas where it was pretty bad. So, you know, I'm going to say this year was a 50-50 for me. 2021, for the weirdest of reasons, was a much better year than this year. At the same time, 2021 was also like a year where I say that I was starting to grow more as a person, I guess you could say, because you know, because at that time, I guess, but so let me also think for a moment. Yeah, 2021 was honestly the best year, but at the same time, there were some things I'd like to go back and change about 2021. My goal is to try to make this up next year, 2023, the best year yet. But I also realize that there are going to be probably some bumps in the road as well that will probably drag that down. So there's also that too. Um, but yeah, pretty much. Other than that, I'm gonna do my best to strive for 2023 to be not the best year it can, as I know not all things go to plan, sadly. But let me just say that 2023 is the year that I want to say that, yeah, 2023 was a good year. Because I haven't said that since 2021. At the same time, though, it also just depends on how things go, I guess. I mean, you can't expect to have a good year, it just happens. But at the same time, though, I understand that not everything is really, in my control, really. So there's that too. But yeah. Uh, Here, let me see really quick. Let me see. Yeah, it can be done, as Train King James has in a way sort of done something like that with his series Sodor: A New Era, which is really good. If you have not checked that out yet, please go and do so. Same with the other series I've mentioned throughout the live stream, like Thomas the Train's Adventures and Enterprising Engines. Oh, hello, Trainmaster 16. It's been a long time no see. Hi, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. Um, I don't know. I feel like comments in a live stream are the thing that also fuel it. Because if it's just me rambling to myself, then what's the point? You know. Yeah. But seriously though, uh, yeah. Other than that, um, what else is there to talk about? I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas. I sadly didn't, but you know, you know, things happen. Um, but yeah. Other than that, let's see. I need to. Yes, NWR 1991. Yes, I. In fact, he's done a huge timeline of his series. I will admit it was nice, but he kind of added some things that, kind of didn't really need to be there, like when the DVDs got released or when, you know, I mean, I understand that from a Railway Series aspect, all that exists in its universe, but I kind of just felt like there was a lot of unnecessary stuff that he had in there that just didn't really need to be there. Like, he could have recapped stuff from the Railway Series and his actual series together. If I was to ever do like that type of timeline video, I would just recap all the stories that I'd have that take place before my actual series. Something like like something that Enterprising Engine 93 does, like a season 0, which is just filled of original stories and adaptations that and things that just take place before the actual series. So that's pretty good. Um but yeah, uh here we have but yeah, um I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I'd love to make. But other than that, for now, I'm just stuck to making simpler type stuff. Trainmaster 16 says, "Oh, yeah." Honestly, that's what I feel like sometimes. Um, let's see. Sorry for the long silence. I was just looking at something really quick. Let's see. In the context of my series, it would take place right after Gordon is retired from the Express. Okay. I would tell you where my series starts, but I don't want to do that for sole factor spoilers. So, yeah, I'm not gonna do that honestly. I have lots of ideas for my series, but I also realize that I have to make sure that number one, interesting character pair ups that I would love to do. And number two, I also want to write stories that also develop characters. I just don't want to, be a series where, oh, I'm putting these two characters in this situation. Hope you all enjoy it with no character development whatsoever. No, there's going to be character development, but that's the thing with a series. Either you make the series to tell a huge story that you want to tell, or you try to extend on characters and their types of you know like, say there's a character that has nothing to them, like, let's see, what's a nothing character, I guess. Like, okay, I mean, say you want to tell more stories about Dennis. Like, since Dennis only appeared in one episode and only got a cameo in uh the Great Discovery, like, say you want to add on to his character, either you can. Now, there's the one thing I've seen people do with Dennis is that they make him lazy still. I mean, I know in the episode he said he tried, like, in the end credits, he says, like, "Thank you, Thomas. From now on, I will try to be a really useful engine." He said try, which means he's not always going to be, but some people just like to revert Dennis to his lazy personality 100% of the time. Now, I would do that, but also added in that Dennis also does do real work. But so yeah, there's that. I don't know. I have a lot of ideas for a lot of characters, and of course, I have a lot of characters that will be in my series. I'm not one of those series where I'll be like, oh, only classic series, only railway series. No, it's CGI, hit era, classic series, and railway series. I know I kind of went backwards with that, but that's just sort of a way to do it. Um, All right. I think since this live stream really wasn't going anywhere, and since I kind of want to do something else, honestly, I will I will leave this live stream up, obviously. Um yeah, it's honestly crazy that that's only appeared in one episode. Well, yeah. I mean, we couldn't even have him be in the background somewhere, let alone him only just appearing once. Well, okay, no, he didn't appear once. It's just okay. He appeared in his debut episode, Thomas's Day Off. He got a little cameo in a learning segment where he's seen with Diesel hauling a goods train. And it was like a season 10 promo. I posted about it on my Twitter and Instagram. You can check it out there. But then he also got that little cameo in you know, in The Great Discovery. So while he did appear technically 3 times in the series as a whole, Dennis was one of those characters that was thrown on the cutting room floor the moment his episode ended, because after his debut episode, they didn't want to do anything with him. With typical hit era characters. That's why we sadly didn't get another episode with Mighty Mac. As I kind of wish that they would have been the star of another episode. And that's why Billy only appeared once. Same with Hank, Flora, and Colin. Heck, they're all season 12 characters that only appeared once. What's the point of introducing characters if you're not going to do anything with them? And not to mention, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have been hard to render them for CGI. I mean, if they were able to make their faces, why couldn't they actually make them in CGI? The same thing goes with, and I understand the reason that these characters only exist. Now I know the reason these characters only exist were for market, purposes, but you can do that. Look, you can either do two things. You can either market them, but like there's one like that's the thing. Like I understand you want to market these characters, but do something noteworthy with them and then market them, and then maybe people will actually want to buy them. No parent is going to yeah, what a waste of money on those. Yeah, that's the other thing, a waste of money. Now and it's so sad honestly cuz now characters like Mighty Mac and Molly are now rotting in the hands of Drayton Manor, and just they're in there rotting away, and it's kind of sad to see really because you know I tell you, I don't mind the hit era, I really don't. But at this because there are some characters in there that have potential, like obviously, like personally for some reason all the season 9 characters have potential. Mighty Mac, Molly, Neville, Dennis, and even Proteus. I mean, heck, otherwise Enterprise Engines wouldn't be the series it is today without Proteus. But all the season 9 characters, in my opinion, have potential, whether people like all of them or none of them. Now, season 10 is a different story. It's something I find interesting is that the only hit era characters from that era that made it to the CGI series were Rosie, Rocky, Stanley, and Whiff. Those were the only 4 characters from that era that made it to CGI. There's also and that's the other thing. Um okay, I don't think this was technically him, but I'm pretty sure that plane that was in the animated sequence in Letters for Santa was pretty much a plane that looked like Jeremy. I'm now I may have to look at that on the wiki, but if that was actually Jeremy in that uh in that little sequence, then I guess you could say he made it to CGI, but only by an animated sequence. So technically, I don't know if that counts, honestly, but gosh, I hate how they would introduce so many hit era characters and then just do nothing with. But there are those that they did do stuff with. They did do obviously Rocky's a main staple in the series still, and he was introduced in that era. Sure, his episode that he was introduced was bad and ruined Edward, but yeah. They did do stuff with Rosie and Whiff, and even though Stanley didn't get an episode, they did a big chunk of him in the in the Great Discovery. He was a main staple afterwards in season 12. He was sort of reduced to background appearances when the Nitrogen era kind of kicked off, but then again, um, they used a picture of a Trackmaster. What the heck? Yeah, for gosh sakes, we can't win, can we? Um, but if there's one character I'm surprised that didn't actually make it to CGI, and this is a character that has made 3 appearances and many side appearances, is Fearless Freddy. They did so much with that character. I don't know what the heck they. Number one, was Freddy really the main token character that they decided to do a lot with? Because he has had 3 main roles. He's had his main role, Fearless Freddy. He also had his other main role, Ding Ling, and then by the way, Fearless Freddy in season 10, Ding a Ling in season 11, and the Party Surprise in season 12. And then he made a few side appearances. He appeared on the side in the Great Discovery, obviously, but he he was a side character in shoot, what was it? He was a side character in Mountain Marvel, helping Peter Sam, and then he had a main side appearance in the story the man crap, I forget what it is. The episode that features the man in the hills. But yeah. I'm writing a story about maybe it was Pulse Henrietta Victoria while Toby does. Yeah, that's the other thing. Don't get me wrong. As much as the Hit Era characters were not fleshed out enough, there were a lot of Railway Series characters that weren't fleshed out either. Say characters like Ivo Hugh. He was not fleshed out, and neither was Victoria. And even though he didn't even appear in the book, yet the only thing we know about him is that he's lazy. Like yeah, even though we know that he's lazy, we don't even see Fred in the Railway series, and yet he technically exists on that railway. I'm not. Mm, tisk tisk to that. Hmm. Let's see. I'm I'm guessing you mean Molly by giving her. Well, Molly does have a character. She's a more shy character, but you have to sort of expand upon like why is she shy? Kind of like why Neville's also shy, I guess, but at least he has a bit more confidence in order to the fact to say hello. So there's that. Then again, Molly did too, but um, Freddy, Rocky, Madge, and Rosie are all good characters. Yeah, I think they're all good characters. Of course, personally, I have a bias and my favorite is Mighty Mac because um, they look so interesting. They're really an interesting character, even though but the interesting thing about their character is that they're technically 2 characters in one who share the same body. Not to mention the double Fairleys are my favorite narrow gauge locomotive in general, and I also love their dark blue royal blue paint. It just looks stunning on them. And not to mention their different faces that actually differentiate from each other are really good too. So Mighty Mac is one of my favorite. I also like Hank, and even though Proteus really has nothing to him, the mystery that surrounds him, um, I do like him. I really do. Uh, I do like Freddy, but he's not as interesting as Mighty Mac and Proteus, if you ask me. Not to mention, everyone asks who's better, Freddy and Ivo Hugh. So I will give Freddy the credit that he is better than Ivo Hugh. Then again, that's just my opinion. But yeah. Ding-a-Ling was a terrible episode. I'm mixed on his introduction episode, but character, he was very well developed. Well, here's the thing. Freddy was developed well. They actually tried to give Freddy a personality, but it kind of screws up the continuity of the Skarloey Railway. Number one, how in the world does Sir Handel know Freddy if Freddy didn't work? If Freddy, was never introduced before? Freddy was introduced to. That's the other thing. Freddy was introduced into the series with us walking in, with the creators walking in, be like, "Oh, you forgot about Freddy. Wait, who is this guy?" Yeah, that's the vibes I get from Freddy. As he's a great character, but his first the first line of that episode is today an old friend was coming back to the narrow gauge railway. Coming back? When did he leave? Or when did he left or what? Like, I mean, I do like that Sir Handel knows Freddy, and that sets up for the fact that Freddy could have worked on the Mid Sodor Railway. But if Freddy technically worked on the Skarloey Railway before, then how in the world does he not know who Skarloey and Rheneas are? Because Skarloey and Rheneas were the first two engines on the railway before Freddy. So that's where continuity really and not then again, you also have to remember that was a time where Sir Handel was treated as the wise old sage character and not Skarloey and Rheneas, and Skarloey and Rheneas were the baby characters. So, and while I don't now to be fair, they can't screw up characters like Fearless Freddy or Mighty Mac because they're the newest characters in the series. But they kind of messed up. They didn't mess up. To be fair, they didn't mess up Peter, Sam, or Rusty too much. I don't think they didn't really mess up Duncan too much either. I don't think, but Duncan hardly got mad at anything. I guess Duncan's personality wasn't the exact same, but he had his moments. I'd think. You know. Other than that, I don't mind Sir Handel. The only thing I don't mind Sir Handel having I don't mind Sir Handel having the personality he did in the hit era, as it kind of shows him growing up, honestly, from the reckless character he used to be to a character who has more common sense and more knowledge. But he is not the oldest on the Skarloey Railway, so don't treat him like he is. As we all know, Skarloey and Rheneas are the oldest. And don't get me started on how we don't even have characters like Duke on the Skarloey Railway in that era. Neither with Bertram either. So it's that's the thing. They introduce these characters and they don't, you know, in a perfect Sodor universe, we would have all the characters exist in the same universe, which is what most fan series do in a way. But there are those that just don't, for the sole fact that they just don't really want to meddle with some characters like Lady. I understand because you'd have to open up a can of worms. But then it kind of makes me sad when I see narrow gauge episodes and I'm like, oh, but where's Freddy? Or wait, where's Mighty Mac? I want to see them. Or ooh, is Bertram on this railway in the time? So yeah, yep, yeah, I get that. To be fair, I don't mind the personality that Freddy has. I mean, he's not the oldest engine on the railway, but he is an older engine. Like, we all know that Skarloey and Rheneas are the oldest, followed by Duke being the second oldest of the two. But then then I kind of find it interesting, like, who is, like, because it's safe to say that Ivo Hugh, no matter how you put it, is technically the youngest engine on the railway. No matter how many other newer engines like Luke come along, Luke probably existed a bit more longer than Ivo Hugh did. But but it kind of makes me wonder, like, Freddy. So does that mean like Freddy's the third oldest behind Duke? But then I also kind of wonder, how old is Bertram? If Bertram is just as wise, if Bertram is around pretty much the same basis as Duke, does that mean he's a bit old, just as old as Duke, or a bit younger by a little bit? And then don't get me started now. Even though Mac is technically the younger of the two, but Mighty is the older one. So does that mean, and not to mention, since their basis was built back in like I think the 19th century a little bit, does that mean that they're technically the oldest on the railway as well? Like, there's a list of older engines on that railway. Now I know in today's now I know now I know if all the narrow gauge engines exist today, they're technically all old at this point. Even Ivo Hugh, who was built back around like 1997, so Ivo Hugh would be over 20 years old, I think. So they're all old now, but there are those who have been pretty older than pretty much everyone else. But yeah, nonetheless, Freddy is a character where you can change his backstory and try to make it fit so that it makes more sense. But the whole episode in general pretty much messed up Skarloey and Rheneas. To be honest, I feel like the episode should have been with Duke takes Sir Handel's role, and even though Peter Sam and Sir Handel are more grown up, they still act like children and around. Duke still thinks they act like children, so Freddy still tries to prove to Peter Sam and Sir Handel that there's still no fast engines in the hills. At the same time, if Freddy did used to work on the Skarloey Railway, I'd also try to. My theory is that Freddy used to work on the Mid-Sodor, but then when it was shut down, he was sent to Skarloey, but then kind of had a very terrible accident that got him sent to the works for a long, long time. Like maybe in the sense of like Sydney, where he was waiting for his wheels for like 2 years. Like maybe that's the same with Freddy. Like he's waiting for some parts, and they do come, but it takes a very long time for that to happen. And then he finally comes back to the Skarloey Railway, and at that time, Duke is present on the rail. Characters like Duke, Peter Sam, and Sir Handel are present on the railway. And all that stuff. It really depends on what the heck I decide to go for with my series. The possibilities are endless. I don't have to stick to the TV nor railway series content. I do, but let's just say with a series, I have my own creative liberties, with that. So, all right, just taking a quick step there. Yeah, but yeah, that's just my little rant on Freddy. There are some, to be fair, there are some characters in the CGI era I kind of wish would have gotten more potential as well. Like characters, I, I kind of want to do something with Gator in the future because he was a nice character and he did get a bit of screen time in season 18 and in Tale of the Brave, but it's just a shame that he was hardly ever mentioned after that movie. The only evidence of that technically still being of him still being there is like Marion, Timothy, and Reg, who were also introduced in that movie. Which kind of makes me wonder what happened to Gator after, long lost friend. Obviously he's not on the railway because he probably went back home. But that's just me, See, that's the thing. That's why I want to make a series because I got so many ideas and stories to tell that the possibilities are endless. The only thing I struggle with are coming up with actually good titles for stories, but and then of course the plot of some stories are easier to execute than others, but we just got to take it step by step, year by year, and day by day. So there's that. So that's my little speech there for you. Nonetheless, guys, I don't know. I've had a good conversation now, but I did say I was thinking about ending the stream at over an hour, and I now realize it's kind of been a bit over an hour. So yeah. So I think in a few minutes here I might end this live stream, but that's just me. Yeah, that is true. There are stories that have been done, like 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 the Buried Truck story, Duck and Fergus. Fun fact: there was originally going to be a story for my series where Duck and Fergus interact, but then the Buried Truck already did a story on them. So it's kind of like, well, shoot, he kind of in a way not stole my idea, but he got the idea before me because of how Duck and Fergus are in a way similar with their like like Duck is all about the Great Western way or the wrong way, and Fergus is like do it right, and they both have ways that conflict with each other. But if you guys have read that story, they obviously come to terms and are now friends, which I would love to, because if I ever adapt that story, I'd love to have their friendship explored in my series, honestly. But then again, they both work on two totally different parts of the island, so I understand. That's the other thing. I wouldn't want to confine characters to their designated locations, but they do work in a certain area for a reason. Kind of like how the narrow gauge engines always worked at the Blue Mountain Quarry in the CGI. I mean, they'll still work at the quarry, but they'll obviously be doing jobs on their actual railway. You know, kind of like how they kind of fleshed that out when Duncan was reintroduced into the series in season 18. But yeah, so I think I'm going to wrap up, and yeah, overall, guys, I really enjoyed doing this little stream. Yeah, it's not what I expected, but you know, I did have fun doing it. And of course, it was just to do one more and get it out of the way before the year comes to a close. I do plan to do more streams in the future, but of course, I'm actually trying to make stuff too. You know, stuff like that. So yeah. Um, but yeah, everyone, I think I'm going to end that here. So I'll see you all next time. Um, without further ado, Useful Engine 11 signing out. Take care, everyone. Hope you all had a Merry Christmas, and right now, have a Happy New Year. So I'll see you later.